Next on Funny Local News, walking to Gunnersville, Cow Patty Bingo, boom goes the dynamite. All of this and more. But first,
Frank Sienkiewicz, the 1942 Heisman Trophy winner from Georgia, died early today at his Athens home. He was 70 degrees.
That's our report for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We'll all be black next. We'll all be back next week, and I'll be black. We'll all be back, though. It's not my night.
And a correction, Frank Sienkiewicz, who died early today at his home in Athens, was 70 degrees. Jim?
The teacher's first job will not be in the classroom. It'll be in the police station.
for Ann Dwyer and her team, it's been a morning of fluctuating fortunes.
Some changes in store for the Devil Rays and for Tropicana Field. The team announces it is reducing prices on more than 9,000 seats, and that lowers the average price of tickets by 7 cents. 7 cents to $17.79. The Rays will also close off the upper deck seating area, except when the lower deck sells out. And the team will also move the cheaper Southwest Airlines Freedom Fanfare section to the area now known as the beach. If you would like the facts and the figures, head to the Rays website at devilrays.com. Did I read that right?
I'm sorry. Lower the price 7 cents, huh?
Oh,
now I can finally afford to go. Is that what you said? Okay.
The average price of the tickets are lowered by 7 cents.
She made it through that read, and I am tears rolling down my face over here, and you read that without cracking up, and you did a good job.
Yes, you get a star.
7 cents.
I don't get it.
All right, we're out to save money. That's what we're all about.
Well, if that's the woman, you tell her to shut up.
We'd like to close.
We don't have the clothes yet. I haven't written the clothes yet, mothers.
Let's now take a look at that satellite tape taken from earlier today. We can take a look at the cloud cover across much of the nation.
This art is also unusual in that people can't seem to resist touching it. It's cold and wet and surprisingly smooth.
Meanwhile, the problem of exactly what to say has arrived sooner than reporter Gage Norm was ready for it.
For more team coverage on this snowstorm, we head out to Gage Norm in Kalamazoo. Gage.
Thanks, Melissa. Now, while many area businesses like the hotels and other places are staying busy, that's definitely the case here at Kalamazoo's Holiday Inn. Now, the Kalamazoo's Radisson joins the Holiday Inn in offering special rates for standard travelers. And those travelers can get special deals on rooms for a night or two. And they say that if they're joining in offering special deals, and also they're putting them over to stay a night or two, and then they go to the Holiday Inn and other places, and then they can go to reporting to different places. Now, store management also say the people started packing in last night at Myers, and definitely they're staying busy, and they didn't start slowing down till this afternoon at Meijer.
We don't want to get hungry. As you can tell, we like to eat, so we want to fill up a little bit in case it gets bad tomorrow.
On history. Meijer management says it expects to have more business coming up, and they'll always stay open no matter how bad the snow gets. Now, VFI Waste Services of Western Michigan that we talked to earlier says that it's going to have to cancel, even delay some of its services to area customers, but just put out your trash on the curbside and they'll pick it up weather permitting. Reporting live in Kalamazoo, I'm Gage Norm with news from where you live. Romaine, back to you.
Good evening, I'm Ken Bastida. Dana is off tonight. He was murdered and then set on fire while celebrating his birthday.
They tell me by showtime the temperature will be down to 95, and plus they've got the ice on the stage and the fans behind them, so they're going to be blowing the symphony players and keeping them cool. Cheryl?
Cindy, Marilyn McCoo is the performer tonight, right?
Yes, Marilyn McCoo. The crowd seems to be excited about her.
Comment you will not want to miss, Comet Haiku Take. But anyway, let's go to our perfect viewing, a Comet Haiku Take. And where we have something special coming up, a Comet Haiku Take is out.
I'd like to play that sometime. Hayakataki.
Hayakutake. Now that I'm not out of breath, I can actually.
Back at Boston, it's Hanukkah.
Tonight begins the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. And standing by at his home, live with Instant Eye, is Rabbi Bradley Bliefeld of the Baltimore Hebrew congregation with his family. And now they will light the first light of Hanukkah.
Praised are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has kept us in life, sustained us, and permitted us to reach this joyous occasion. Amen.
Rabbi Bliefeld, this is Richard Scher, and we'd like you to explain the significance of Hanukkah, if you would.
This begins our 8-night festival of religious freedom. We commemorate the time over 2,000 years ago when a small group of Jews fought for their religious freedom against the Assyrians. And indeed has a special meaning this year because we of the Jewish community share in the concern for the hostages being held in Iran, for they too are suffering under a contemporary form of religious tyranny.
May all of us here wish you and all of your family a very happy holiday, Rabbi.
Thank you, and to all in the community.
Okay, thank you very much.
We were sent out here to do a story. To do a story about what? As you can see, there's construction underway here. They've dug out a little bit. There's water, has accumulated. Traffic's backed up. In a city the size of Houston, there's always traffic. So what's the big deal? What the are we doing out here? I asked you, what in the are we doing here? Hell, I don't know.
Frank Fraboni, Channel 12 News, Winston-Salem.
What was that noise?
I know, it sounded like a foghorn.
Well, they did come to life. He said it, and they did it.
Did they make those kind of noises back then, you suppose? Those dinosaurs make
well,
those?
You would know better than I don't know. I come nowhere close to being around it. You know I don't know.
I'm not that old.
Okay, nope, not prehistoric. All right. Well, anyway, it's that time again.
That time, right?
That time.
Okay.
Cosmetics manufacturers won't be greatly affected, but the Maraschino Cherry Association said today that this action will ruin the $100 million a year maraschino cherry industry. David?
If there is ice on Mars, it seems reasonable to conclude there is water. The scientists involved with the Viking project have so concluded. They have new pictures from Mars, and Roy Neal tells us how they look.
Outside in Big Spring Park, Jamie Tucker has a surprise waiting for him.
Who else is going? Who is walking there? But who else?
I don't know how bad they are. Why don't they just walk the gutters? It ain't a far walk. It's just 38 miles. Why don't you walk? Why don't you walk the gutters?
Have you walked the gutters before?
I'll walk. Yeah, I can walk the gutters.
Right.
Why don't you walk the gutters?
I don't need to walk the gutters.
Well, no, you don't. You're gonna put everybody else walking the gutters. Why don't you just walk the gutters?
All right, I'll walk the gutters.
All right, let's go.
All right, hang on. Let me do this one time.
And let's go walking. How about strutting that You'll be so goddamn tired the time you get to New Hope, you won't be strutting that You'll be so goddamn tired by the time you get to New Hope that you won't be strutting that You'll be.
Well, what's got you so mad today?
Me?
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to run. Everybody wants to run. That's good. Run here at the Gunnersville. I'll walk. I'll be right behind them and see how far they can run. It's a chauvinistic pig attitude that you're going to do something because you work at the arsenal and you got a Mercedes-Benz and you ain't got to walk every day, so you're going to get out and strut that strut that strut that strut that strut that. When you start walking, my friend, and you get 10 and 15 miles on the highway, you won't be strutting that. You'll be half dead by the time you get there. So it's a chauvinistic pig attitude that Clinton's got. Strut that, strut that, strut that, strut that. And when you walk about 15 or 20 miles, you won't be strutting that. You'll be so tired, you won't hard to hold that up. You won't be strutting that, strutting that.
What really happened on that Thursday here at Augusta High School that led to Chris Wood's death?
The is that? I'm dying in this country uptown. Flying in my mouth. The I can't see pollen. Let's get the out of this country, mother. I can't even see me.
Finally in sports tonight, Lee, Pete Rose of the Cincinnati Reds was talking about the Reds' young pitcher, Wayne Granger, and about the speed of his fastball. Said Rose, Wayne can throw a baseball through a car wash, and the ball never get wet. Lee, that's sports.
Well, there's one thing for sure, Dick. He's bound to have the cleanest balls in the majors. Thank you, Dick. State Agriculture Commissioner Jim Graham said today in Charlotte, the North Carolina Agriculture Department endorsed a small watershed.
Now here's Orion Samuelson. Now here's Orion Samuelson. Now here's Orion Samuelson.
With the absence of the regular sportscaster, all that's left now is a potentially defining moment for Brian Collins.
Hello, everyone. Well, the Ball State softball team continued to play this weekend, and they were hoping to continue off of their straight 3 out of 4 losses. And so we'll take a look and see how that happened. They started off good, but then eventually, the Ball State women's team shut down and ended up doing poorly. Oh no. And it's working. Okay. We're going to continue on now. The Ladies Cardinals will play an Iowa tournament starting this Friday. Before the Ball State baseball team kicks off its conference season this weekend, the Cards will battle an in-state rival Indiana tomorrow. Tomorrow's game will be the meeting between the two, beating both first. Hoosiers are on the 4 on the year, and they have won 6 of its last 7 games. Tomorrow will be the game 3 at 3 p.m. Switching to Ball State men's tennis, it seems every week they have a player. Matt Lawrence is the latest Cardinals tennis player to win the award. Lamar won all the singles and doubles matches last week. So far, the Cardinals have had a player honored on the weekly awards. 7 out of the 9 weeks. The Cards will play at Boise State Invite this weekend. The Indiana Pacers are looking for a measure of revenge tonight against the New Jersey Nets and to strengthen their playoff hopes. The Nets won the last Sunday's matchup 94-85, which left the Pacers 1 game behind the Chicago in the 7th series spot. Let's check out the highlights. Steven Jackson to David. Reggie Miller's looking good. He shoots a 3, and it's good. Later, he gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite. The final scores ended up with the Pacers 63 to the Nets 61. The Associated Press of the All-American first team in college baseball was announced today at Utah's 7-foot sophomore center Andrew Bogut was the leading vote receiving 61st place votes. Bogut, who is an Australian native, received very little attention in the preseason, but averaged 20 points and 12 rebounds a game for Utah. The 4 other players joining Bogut on the AP team are senior forward Wayne Summers and Kansas, and Hakan Warwick of Syracuse, junior guard J.J. Redick of Duke, and sophomore guard Chris Paul of Wake Forest rebounded out the list. Let's check out some of the scores tonight.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot for that look into sports, Brian.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we'll have one final look at weather. Stay tuned.
Daytona Beach, the Cape Canaveral area, Vero Beach will be getting in on the heavier rainfall, and eventually that should I am so sorry, Bill. Oh my God!
What the hell just happened?
This is what just happened. That thing was crawling on my leg. Oh God, if that, oh my God, that is, oh my God, oh no. Right at the wall for me.
That thing is huge. Oh, is that roach
Oh.
like down the hall? That's like.
Oh. Now we're checking our Action News calendar for this Thursday morning. Information on healthcare, education, and job training will be available during a community health fair in North Philadelphia. Doors open at 6 this evening at the Dick School at 25th and Diamond. Health check this morning. Doctors say there is now no doubt that if you live longer, you can cut your cholesterol level. A Scottish study shows using medication such as Zocor combined with diet and exercise can reduce the overall death rate. The medical community has long operated on that belief, even though there's been no proof, and that's all changed now because the evidence is in. Okay, now this is for David. Thousands of American men are continually searching for a solution to their baldness, and they often spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in that search. In this special report, Action News senior correspondent Mark Howard looks at some of the newer techniques available to the bald man.
Fortunately for everyone else, Valerie Williams is happy to explain what the weather feels like. In this case, literally.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us. As the temperature drops and the wind chill factor dips below zero, a major snowstorm has blanketed the Texas Panhandle. Many people there are saying it's the harshest winter in the last 5 years, dumping anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow in the area. Channel 8's Valerie Williams is braving the cold outside of Amarillo in a small town called Headley and joins us now live. Valerie, how bad is the weather right now?
Well, Jeff, I was about to say that the winds had died down slightly since our live shot at 6 o'clock, but wouldn't you know, just before we went on the air, they picked up again. To give you an idea of how bad and biting the cold weather is, we try and stay in the satellite truck until 5 or 10 minutes before we're supposed to go on the air, and then we move outside. And during that short amount of time, it's not uncommon for both our feet and hands to go almost completely numb. Now, the reason the town of Headley is so important is that this is really the point of no return on the way to Amarillo. What happens is the conditions here, the weather conditions here are very bad, but once you get out of Headley and head on the way up to Amarillo, the conditions get even worse.
Old man weather, really. Giving it to us today.
People in the Panhandle say they're feeling Mother Nature's wrath. They believe they're paying the price for several years of mild winters. We hear the trip is now taking 3 hours in the near blizzard conditions. Now, it doesn't look like the conditions are going to get much better tomorrow. which, by the way, happens to be the heaviest traffic day of the year because of the Thanksgiving holidays. Amarillo authorities would certainly be thankful if they could avoid what happened today. There was a 200-car pileup on Interstate 40. And it was a chain reaction caused by the sleet, the slick conditions, and the high winds that went on for 1.5 miles. Most likely, I-40 will be closed again tomorrow for at least all or part of the day. Authorities ask that if you can stay out of this area, please do so. It will make their jobs a lot easier, and it will certainly be safer for travelers. Reporting live, I'm Valerie Williams. Back to you, Chip and Tracy.
Valerie, we understand that the wind chill factor out there earlier today was 13 below. It sounds like you're having a hard time talking. It must be miserable out there.
All right, you're going to have to re-ask that question. The wind is blowing so hard I can hardly hear you.
Well, it looks like a bad spot to be in. We hope you'll get warm later on tonight, Valerie.
Yeah, oh, please, yes.
Thank you very much, Valerie.
All right, thank you.
Well, the snow hasn't made it as far as North Texas.
Well, there may be trouble in Alaska's Iditarod sled dog race. Searchers on snowmobiles are trying to find a dog team that a moose may have attacked. 2 bush pilots have reported seeing a moose stomping dogs along the race course. Attacks by hungry moose have plagued racers for the past several years. It's a big problem. The animals, which can weigh up to 1,800 pounds, have become aggressive because deep snow has made it hard to graze. I have to read this stuff. And here's another one. A New York man was charged with petty larceny yesterday, accused of stealing up to $200 worth of cow manure from his uncle. Can we go on to sports? Donald Magoon of Ellenburg, New York, was caught stealing a $10 load of manure from his uncle's farm. Glenn Magoon claimed his nephew stole 10 to 20 loads over time. Stop it, Bob. The elder Magoon says he can only guess what his nephew was using it for. We don't know either, and I wish we didn't have to read this stuff.
And finally this morning, a fundraiser that may have seemed like a good idea at the time. A cow patty bingo contest was held in Canada this week. Donors buy a square on a field and hope a cow drops a patty on it. The only problem is the cow never went. What? The farmer says that he's never seen that happen before. The money raised will go to a United Way brand in Canada.
My goodness gracious. Do you think that was a slow bingo game? Yes, he does. 7-day forecast for today. Mixed sun and clouds as we head through time. Breezy as well, a high of 52. Overnight lows down near 35. Mostly clear, less breezy. A sunny start for tomorrow before we increase the clouds. A high back into the mid-50s. Showers in the forecast for Monday into Tuesday, then turning cooler as we head toward Wednesday into Thursday. B12. That's all I gotta say. No, I can't.
Cow patty bingo.
For Charles P. Allen High School, Cow Patty Bingo has suddenly gone from being the week's good news story to bad news in the cow department.
Well, we got just a hilarious, bizarre story for you. It's the story of beef gone bad, a cow on the lamb.
That's right, 10 RCMP officers, a pair of animal control officers, dozens of high school students, and assorted friends and neighbors have spent this Friday afternoon tracking a cow through residential neighborhoods in Bedford and Sackville. An ATV camera crew was with them all the way, and ATV's Jonathan Kay joins us now with an utterly ridiculous story. Jonathan.
It's the kind of thing that can only happen here on a Friday afternoon, Nancy. ATV News photographer Kevin McDonald and I were working on a completely different story when our assignment editor called us and told us we were getting calls here in the newsroom of a cow obstructing traffic in a residential neighborhood. Here's what happened. Getting that here. Okay, pop the thing. When the cow escaped, it was in the custody of this Bedford High School student.
Okay. I was holding on to the cow when it came out, and it got nervous. And when it got nervous, because of all the people, it shook and its harness broke, and he took off towards the woods.
What are you looking for?
It's a big cow with horns.
Oh, yeah. He went that way.
Look. Hang on. See him there?
Oh, there it is.
You might wonder what high school students were doing with a cow on the school grounds in the first place. Well, they were getting ready for an annual event called Cow Patty Bingo. Squares are marked on the school field, and if the cow does his business on your square, you win. This year, things went wrong.
Yeah, 10-4, I'm on the side of the road there with the students there just to do a search party for that missing cow. Okay, we just tranquilized the cow now.
Can I go? He's been tranquilized. He's just going to drop. He's just going to drop. The cow's owner says people often misjudge just how big, powerful, and unpredictable the animals can be.
Never gonna pitch it.
Yeah. Let it rest, let it drop, and then we'll get it once it's down. There's no sense of chasing it the rest of the day.
That particular member of the RCMP hasn't received his wish yet, though, Nancy and Paul. Right now, that cow is still out here somewhere.
Oh, no.
We'll let you know how it turns out after he's captured.
All right.
Wow.
Thanks a lot, Jonathan, and good luck, everybody who's looking for him.
Yeah, hopefully we can bring you up to date on that one a little bit later.
Cranky cow.
Crazy stuff.
Joyce Evans for the Channel 6 10 o'clock news. We getting out of this joint.